So hi, welcome back. This is video 5, the final video in this 5-part series of how to record drums. And in this video I'm going to be talking about the mastering stage. So in every other video, everything is pretty much gone from recording to mixing, and now we're at the final stage, which is mastering. Now bear in mind, this is going to be very, very brief because, as I said in the previous video, if you want to do this properly, it takes a while. So we're going to basically go over some plugins you can use that help you master, some knowledge you should know just to help you. And yeah, because there's nothing worse. We've all been this. We've sent our mixes onto, say, YouTube or something, and it clips, or it doesn't sound as good as it is in the DAW, and that's because there are some streaming standards. Now there's standards for a lot of things, so movies have different standards than streaming standards, but basically I assume most of yous are going to be using streaming services. So what you want is -14 LUFS to be your max. And LUF is loudness full scale, I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah. So basically, if you really want to make your mixes loud, you can really stretch that out and try and get nearly every bit at -14. Again, that's a lot of work, and there's things called saturation and stuff to make your mixes louder, and you can add more compression and do several different aux channels and buses. But for this scale, we're going to say -14 is our absolute max just for the purpose of this. And I'm going to play a random point in the song, say like here. Yeah, so it's pretty random, these drums, but that's actually a good point because it's probably the loudest point. There's crashes going on, it's going pretty intense, and we're only at -30 LUFS. So, you know, if I wanted, I could definitely add another compressor and make this louder, and actually I might do that. So what I'm just going to do is mastering chain. So I'm just going to put some very basic, say, ratio of 3:2. Just the problem there, but yeah, you can see we're pretty good. We don't really need to adjust. We can adjust volume to make it louder, but for the purpose of this, it's fine. By the way, also, because I said -14 LUFS is the loudest, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to get it to -14 LUFS. In fact, in a lot of these softwares like YouTube or whatever, if your audio is too quiet, they usually enhance it themselves. But yeah, if you get further down the line, or if you're doing, you know, a song, you want to try and get it around that range, because obviously you don't want YouTube to master your final mix. So yeah, so that's pretty much that. So that's the plugin. This is called ULearn Meter Master. It's free, as you can see there. Another one I also like to use is this GT Analyzer. This is again also free, actually, by the way, but this is a spectrum analyzer, so it shows, if I play there, so it shows the frequencies that are played the most. So as you can see, it's actually pretty well evenly distributed. That's mainly due to the EQing. But yeah, you can use that as a final thing. If, say, for example, it's very much lacking in the 100k to 200k hertz range, there's barely any line there. You can boost that in the EQ just to kind of get a flat curve, because you don't want too much of a curve. You don't want basically just high ender. You want to have a fairly equal, especially in drums. You want the cymbals to shine, the snare to shine, the bass drum to shine, the toms to shine. They're all different hertz. So yeah, so that actually can help quite a lot. And also what I was just going to show is, so this plugin is not free, unfortunately, but it's a mastering plugin. It's by iZotope, and it's called Ozone 9. But this is a great plugin. This is probably one of the best. Now, if you really find this mastering stuff complicated or whatever, because a lot of people do, there's this button called Master Assistant, right? Now I click on this and say if I want medium intensity, I just click next. Then I play a bit of the song. See, it's doing its magic. And my computer freezes, but I think it's got the sample it needs. So, by the way, when you're doing this, play the loudest point of the song. Now, what I usually do is I turn the ceiling way down. I think the ceiling should be at least minus 1.3. And I turn the threshold down a bit. But if I play this, I already hear it's way louder. Yeah, so I was going from minus 30 LUFS, and now we're at minus 23. So we're a lot closer to where we want to be if you want to release that as a song. And again, then there's stuff like saturation and stuff you can put in. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's a really good plugin. It's about, I don't know how much it is now. It's probably a lot cheaper now, but this is the standard version, so it's the cheaper version. But yeah, if you want to do everything yourself, there's separate things. There's dynamic EQs, it's a maximizer. That's the main thing you work with. There's an exciter, I think, as well. Yeah, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this series. So now you can mix, master, record drums. Yeah, and there's not really much else to drums. Hopefully be nice to see a few more people recording drums. I think it's a very kind of dead skill that seems to, most people just don't record drums nowadays because they're off put by how much it costs. And as I said, if you do really want to get into it, it does cost a lot of money. But I think for starting now, you can really do a lot with some pretty affordable gear. Like 500 quid is not bad for 4 mics, a mixer, cables, stands, the whole lot. Like, that is really not bad. So yeah, hopefully this inspires you to go get recording. Again, a lot of these steps apply to any recording. This can apply to vocals or guitar, whatever, just slightly different settings. And yeah, hopefully this helps. Thanks for watching this series, and if you have any suggestions on other series or anything related to this, or if you have any questions or gear advice or anything like that, yeah, please let me know, because recording is fun and it just takes a while. But yeah, thanks, and hopefully these are all recording.